Hi everyone, and welcome back to our channel, or welcome to our channel if you're new. Today we'll be making stuffed bell peppers. So if you'd like to learn how to make this recipe, then please keep on watching. So these are the ingredients that you'll need to get started. So first you're going to need a baking pan. We decided to use a tinfoil pan, 4 bell peppers, and 1 potato. You also need some shredded mozzarella cheese, ground chicken or your preferred meat, 2 tablespoons of cooking oil and olive oil, Uncle Ben's wild rice, and several ingredients to make your marinade. So the ingredients you'll need are basil, thyme leaves, parsley flakes, oregano, black pepper, and salt. I will list all of the exact measurements of these ingredients down in the description below. We also blended this together with a small food processor. And lastly, you will also need some pasta sauce or tomato paste to add to the mixture. So these are the ingredients you'll need, and let's get started. Okay, so now we're going to take that same marinade and marinate our ground chicken. So we're just adding some of the marinade to the ground chicken. You can add as much as you want, but just keep in mind the consistency of how much seasoning you're adding, because you don't want to add too much seasoning and you don't want to add too less of a seasoning. So now we're just going to mix this up until it's evenly distributed throughout all the chicken. Now that we have it completely mixed up, we're just going to take a hot pan with some oil inside, cooking oil, and we're just going to add our ground chicken to that hot oil. So now we're just going to mix it and let it cook until it cooks completely through. And while this is cooking, you can also get started on your wild rice with the potatoes. You can take your Uncle Ben's fried rice or any type of wild rice that you can get your hands on. So get that started and add the potatoes to it while this is also cooking on the side. As we let the ground chicken cook, this is what our wild rice turned out to look like. So we just took 2 cups of water and then added it to a saucepan along with the wild rice mixture and the potatoes. And this will act as our stuffing for our stuffed bell peppers. Now we're going to hop back over to the chicken. So when it is partially cooked, you're just going to add 1 tablespoon of grated ginger just to add a little bit of a kick to the ground chicken. And then you're going to let it cook on its own afterwards. Alright, so now we're going to move on to the bell peppers. So we're going to cut our bell peppers 2 different ways. So first we're going to cut them in half, split down the middle, and then we will also later on cut them in halves from the midsection of the bell pepper. And cutting them this way, it makes it a lot easier to add the stuffing, and then when putting it to bake, it would not run through the bell pepper, especially keeping on the stem at the top of the bell pepper. Alright, now that we're finished with our peppers, we're going to move back to our ground chicken and finish the stuffing. So first we're going to add half of our pasta sauce. We don't want to add all of the pasta sauce because the other half of pasta sauce will be used before we put it in to bake in the oven. After we do that, you just stir up the pasta sauce in the ground chicken until fully consistent. And then we're going to add in the stuffing that we created with the wild rice and the potatoes, and then you're just going to stir that up with the stove being off. Stir it up until it is all evenly distributed. Now that our stuffing is completed, we're going to take the bell peppers that we had cut up, and be sure to take out the insides of the bell peppers without taking out the stem, because the stem is very important to keep all of your stuffing in place while it's in the oven. So now you might be wondering what those 2 tablespoons of olive oil was for. Well, we're going to use that inside of our pan to make sure that our bell peppers do not stick to the pan when we put it in the oven. Now we're going to take the bell peppers and add them to our oven pan, and then glaze them with the olive oil that's left over. Alright, now we're going to add our stuffing to our bell peppers. So you're just going to add a small amount of stuffing into the bell peppers, and it should be enough stuffing that it shapes the bell pepper in the inside of the bell pepper perfectly. After you've completed that, you're going to want to take that half of pasta sauce that was left over and start adding them to each bell pepper. And you're just going to add a small dollop of it on the center of the top of the stuffing for each one. And then you're going to add some shredded cheese on top. Add as much as you'd like. We added a large amount of mozzarella cheese because we wanted it to be very cheesy and delicious. After that, you're going to want to take some tin foil and cover your stuffed bell peppers and then put them into the oven for 385 degrees Fahrenheit to bake for 30 minutes. These are what your bell peppers should look like now that they're out of the oven. And we're just going to add a little bit of a garnish on top of your bell peppers. So we just took 3 to 4 blades of chives, chopped thinly, and we just sprinkled them on top of each bell pepper. So this is the final dish completed. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I mentioned earlier, the exact measurements will be in the description below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment whether you've tried this out. If you did, please let us know on all of our social media handles, which will also be in the description. Have a wonderful day, and thanks for watching.